Good morning and welcome back to my channel. So today I've decided to do a full van tour for you of the van that we've got in Home Van Away. And I've come down to my work. It's Sunday morning and I thought it was going to be quiet, but you might be able to see behind me that there is two cruise ships in and they seem to be disembarking today, and obviously other people are then going onto the ship, and it appears to be quite busy. There's lots of cars coming past, so hopefully you can hear me all right. And also today, for the first time, I'm trying out this new DJI mic, so I'm hoping that that's picking up with the Insta360 camera on the Bluetooth, so let's just hope. So let's get on with it. There is the van. So she's a VW Crafter on a 2012 plate. She's a 2-litre TDI, 109 brake horsepower, which I believe is the lowest powered one that you can get. However, I'm not that worried because I've not bought her to be a racing car. I bought her for us to be able to travel around in and enjoy our time. So yeah, I'm not overly worried about that. Looking at the front then, so on the bonnet we've got the spoiler. That was already fitted before I bought her, but I'm quite happy with that. Finishes her off quite nicely. Down on the lower valance you've got the splitter. Again, that was fitted before I got it. And then above that, over the windscreen, you've got the sunshade, and I've got to say that is very useful. I know you've got the sunshades inside, but that does assist with the sun when it comes in on that great big windscreen. Now with the headlights on here, I've buffed these because they were slightly grotty. Not that they're saying that they're much better now, but they are a little bit better. Again, the person before it, I had it fitted this black VW badge on there, which I quite like. However, it's like it's powder coated and it's actually starting to peel and come off, so I'm going to probably end up having to look to see where that come from and get myself another one or something similar. So let's go down the passenger side of the van then. So looking down there, you can see that it's already got sidebars on there, which I quite like. Whether they stay on the van or not, I'm not too sure, because at the moment I'm going around touching up little bits of paint on her and trying to rectify bits and pieces, and she's starting to become a little bit different in colour in places where I've done work, and I've used slightly different colour paint, because one of the reasons for that being is at the moment I'm using Hammerite white paint, because I know that will seal where the rust is for the time being, and then I'm looking to get her wrapped. So yeah, paint wise she's not overly brilliant, but she's not that bad. Looking at the wheels then, so I've got the black Rhino hard alloy wheels with the BF Goodrich all-terrain tyres on there. Now yeah, I'm not looking to go off-road with her, but these will help if you get onto a campsite where it's a little bit boggy and you need that little bit more help to be able to get off the site. The petrol flap, I've done that. It's just a little bit of wrap that I put on there. Hopefully you can see that, of a skull. And I put that on there because the petrol flap, even though it's not rusty whatsoever, was slightly a different colour than the rest of the van, so I've had that, or wrapped that over so that that doesn't stand out so bad. Then in the sliding door you've got a nice big window, which is a blacked out window, so you can't really see in there at all unless there's light on the other side, with one sliding window in there. And that's good for privacy, as you can imagine. All the way down the sides of the van we've got these lights that come on, which are orange when the lights come on. And towards the back of the van Looking at the top then, we've got an awning light, outside light, and at the moment, as you can see, there's no awning on the van, but I will at some point look to get awning on there, but again that'll have to wait until after I've wrapped it, and also I need to work out some way of actually fitting it to the roof rack that's already on there, which will be staying on the van. Then with the stickers, this van has been changed with DVLA over to a motor caravan, which I did myself. To be able to appease them and keep them happy, you need to put some forms of sticker on there. I didn't want to put loads on, and I want to be a little bit different from everyone else, so I've stuck with the VW theme and also put the word camper underneath, because on the website it states on there that the police must be able to see that this is a camper van rather than a goods vehicle. So putting the word camper on there, I was hoping that would give them a bit of a clue that this is a camper van. Right, going underneath that then, we've got the vent for our Malaga heater. Now I used to have a motorhome, which I will talk about in another video. We had the Truma system in there which done our hot water and also blew out the hot air for our heating. But this is the Malaga heater, just does the water, and I've got to say that that works really well, and the temperature of the water and how quick it heats up is really good, better than what the Truma was. Now admittedly, in the motorhome it might have been set that the water would only get to a certain temperature, I don't know, I never ever worked it out, but this does get really warm and really hot, and it works the same as the Truma, so you can either have it on gas or on mains electric, or you can have it on mains electric and gas to make it heat up quicker, but we've never ever needed that. It's always been good enough just on its own with gas or with the electric. Then behind that we've got a plug socket for outside appliances to be plugged in through the system of the van. This will help because we have got a hot plate which is electrical, and we can stand out here and basically have a barbecue and use that system there rather than having extension leads coming out from inside the van. So that will be used and it'll be really handy. And then below that we've got our LPG inlet valve, so we've got an underslung gas tank underneath, and that's where the inlet is for that. So that's down the passenger side of the van. Going on to the back then, so I fitted the Williams spare wheel carrier. I fitted that on there, wasn't too hard to do, reasonably priced, and this one actually means that you do not have to cut any of the hinges. Actually loops over the hinges and screws in or bolts onto where the hinges are, so that's a lot better. And then we've got our spare wheel there. Now if you've ever been on a motorway and you've had a blowout or a puncture and you've been in a vehicle where the spare wheel's underneath, you will know that it was one of the pain in the backside to get out, and you're going to get covered in loads and loads of crap. So I was keen to take that out of there anyway and put it up there. But not only that, underneath I've fitted a wastewater tank which is actually in the spare wheel carrier underneath, and it fits in there just right. And if it was full up with water, I don't travel with it full up, I always empty it before we leave any sites, but it's the same weight, so it's not like it's too heavy for the holder. Now the only thing I have had to do at the moment is where I fitted, and if you look at the side of the van you'll see that the van is high at the back, and that's because I fitted double leaf springs from Jones's Springs, double leaf springs at the back, to give it that more assistance with the weight, and also that later on I can look at getting it up plated. So what that done is it's lifted the van. They're 5-ton rated, it's lifted the van, and so I'd already fitted the water tank in the back before I'd done that, lifted the van up, and it means that the water, there's some water sat in the lower part of the tank, where it's at a different angle from when I first fitted it. So to get over that, at the moment what I've done is I've brought the tank down, and then I've fitted these, which don't look great, and yes, I'm sure someone's going to say on here that looks like something out of the Mad Max films, but I fitted those on there so that I could bring the cage down, or the holder down, so it fits onto this bar which holds the tow bar. So again, it's all secure, but what it's done is dropped it down probably by about 1.5 inches, which then means that the water runs more to the back rather than actually sits at the front and then starts smelling. Now again, I've not done anything else with these at the moment, because I might look to fit another outlet at the front of the tank, and then feed that through to the side of the van so I can get to it. If I don't do that, then what I'm going to do is grind these off, and then I'll paint those black so that they're not so noticeable. So that's what's underneath the van there. So moving up then, there's a ladder on the back of the van that was already fitted. Now when I first got the van, there was on the roof there was a box, a storage box, which I wasn't going to use, so I took that off straight away, and I've now got more solar panel up there, and I'll show you a video of the roof in a minute, or you'll be able to see that in a minute when I talk through it. So yeah, we've got the ladder here. So the only thing I really was using that for was when I wanted to get up there and just wash off that solar panel that's up there. So I decided that I would fit some traction boards on there, because for a couple of weekends we were away and we were going to some van festivals where I knew we were going to be parked on grass. You know what the weather's like in the UK, very, very unpredictable. One minute it's sunny, then it's pouring down with rain. So I put them on there just to be on the safe side. They're not necessarily going to always stay on there. I have got a Witter bike carrier to go on here. They won't be able to stay on there because it won't fit properly. The bikes won't fit on there with that on there. So whenever we go away with the bikes, those will have to come off. And again, I'm going to do a separate video with regarding the Witter bike carrier that I've got. Now we'll look inside the van in a minute. We'll carry on going around the outside first. So try not to get you blinded by the sun. Which is lovely for the sun to be out. Come down this side then, driver's side. This one is for our mains hookup. So if we're on site, that we can hook up to mains. And then all the way down this side, we've got exactly the same as the other side, same windows there. And as I was saying, they're blacked out, but as you can see through, you can see through them, and you've got the light from the other side. But when we're on site, I've got curtains or padded sunshade things that go on all the windows at the front, so that's completely blacked out. And then we've got blackout curtains inside as well, so we can pull them over, so we're completely in privacy. Now this window here is for the wet room toilet, which we look at when we go through. And then coming down again, we've got the lights, we've got the side bars, and then we've got our inlet for our water. So underneath here we've got a 90 litre water tank, fresh water tank, so that's where that goes in. And the waste tank that I fitted is a 70 litre water tank, but as I said, really that's just for when we're on site, and if we're not hooked up on a site where we've got a pitch where we've got drainage, then obviously we need to move and drop it all. But I never drive with that tank full or with this one full. We'll fill up wherever we go. Keeps the weight down, and when we've got systems to be able to work with that. So that generally is the outside. So on the roof we've got, when I bought it, I had one solar panel up there, which was a 200 watt solar panel, and I wanted more. So the roof rack was already fitted, and as you can see there, there's boards there, and then the new solar panel's been fitted on top of those boards. And the new solar panel is a 400 watt solar panel, so now I've got 200 watts that's in the middle, which is built into the actual roof rack, and then I've got 400 at the back there, so 600 altogether. So we've got more than enough sun power going in from the solar into our battery, and our battery is a 230 amp hour lithium Foxstar battery. And at the back there, just at the top there, you can see, hopefully because that sun is just in the wrong place, there's a reversing camera, which is the one that's sticking right up, and then the other camera that you can see there, that is for my wolf box rear view mirror camera, which is very, very, very handy, believe me. Right, so let's go down this side then. As I said, what a lovely, lovely day. And I'll spin the camera around, or spin the view around so you can see. So we got that's one of the ships there, as you can see, and then the other one's a little bit further down outside of work. Right, so we're going to go in the driver's door then. So just open the driver's door, and again, the cab's not, I've not done loads to the cab at the moment, but what we have got is underneath there we've got an Aspacha diesel heater fitted, and again that was fitted before I bought the van, but that's fitted underneath there, which obviously works off of diesel and works off of our power of leisure battery in the van, so we're completely off grid if we need to be. This driver's seat has got a swivel base on it, but since I bought the van and I've built more into the back here, that won't swivel around now because that's in the way. But I'm not worried about that because I prefer to leave it in that position, so that if we ever need to be able to sort of like move on quickly from somewhere, I can get into the front of the van and be away. So before we go in the other side, we'll look at the cab through this side. Step up here. So what I have got, let me put my ignition in and see if you can see that. Bear with us a second, because all this has come on as soon as I put the lights on. So while we're waiting for all that to come on, let's put that off. Right. So that's my wolf box, and hopefully you can see it. So at the moment, you can see the back of the car park. There's no one there. So that's my wolf box rear view mirror, and also helps with reversing. It's also a dash cam, so the dash cam filming from the front is a 4K, and the camera that's you're seeing at the back at the moment, that's a 2.8K, and that is a very, very good picture. And even at night time you get a good clear picture as well. And again, with the motorhome that we had a different system on there, and at night all you've done was got a glare of lights and just got blinded out and white out. But with this it's a lot better, so that's brilliant, that is. I'll put the details somewhere either on the screen or in the description below, so you can see what actual model I've got. And at the moment that's not been hardwired in. It's running off of my cigarette lighter down there and all the other bits and pieces that I've got down there, but excuse that, again I'm working on those bits. Then we've got the CarPlay, that was fitted when we got it. If anything, that at the moment that plays up a little bit, so I might end up having to get that taken out, but that again is a reverse camera, and also that links up with my phone so that I can play music through it. We use it as a sat nav, but as I said, it loses signal from my phone every now and again, so yeah, I tend not to use that. I've got another sat nav that I use. So inside the cab then you can see that it's all been done out quite nice in this velvet velour sort of stuff, and we've got the dry robe seat covers for my seat and for the missus's seat. Now I've taken out a double seat from here. There was a double seat in there. We've done the NC 500 and the wife found that double seat was really uncomfortable because it didn't move forward or backwards, it didn't recline, it did spin, it had a spin plate on it which you could spin it round once we were parked up, but she found it was really uncomfortable. So I spent a lot of money and bought a single seat that's got a swivel plate on it as well, and then obviously with the base that come with the actual seat, and the seat basically is brand new. Again, I got that off of a company off of eBay. I'll put a link for them as well because they were very good. It wasn't cheap, but it was quick delivery, and the seat has come and it's practically brand new and everything's fine with it. So I took out the double seat, and at the moment that's another work in progress down there. The flooring mat that comes with the van for the double seat, and I've left that in there, and I've just put some other rubber matting down there for the time being, and sort of like made that look nice, neat and tidy. But we'll look again at that in a minute when we get into the back of the van. So turn that off so I don't get a flat battery. The steering wheel, when I first got it, it had a new steering wheel on there, but the centre was still the old steering wheel, and the airbag that's located inside there. So I had a nice steering wheel, and that bit there was grotty. However, just recently I had the recall with regards to the airbag being replaced. So I went into Breeze in Southampton. They were really good. Took them 10 minutes and they fit a new airbag in there free of charge on the recall. So now I've got a nice new steering wheel, and the centre is nice and new as well. So bonus. I've put a cheap mat, again I think that was 15 quid I paid for that off of eBay. At some point, once I do the rest of the flooring, I will look at probably changing that and putting a better one in, or buying some really nice thick mats to go in there. Excuse me, but I'm more than happy with them at the moment. So that's that side of the van. Let's quickly walk round, and what I'll do is we'll have a look in the passenger side. So the only thing I will say with the seat, it came and there's no plate on there, but I will look to change that at some point and put a plate on there. I don't really want to put anything in there because you have got wiring in there which is for the airbag, and main wiring coming through where your battery is underneath there, and your tools. So I don't want to put anything in there because I don't want to upset the wiring or damage any of the wiring, so I'll leave that empty, but put something across there. That there is our string lights. They are brilliant. You charge them up with a USB, and you can either just have it as a light, flashing light as it is like that, or you pull the string of lights out and they're on a winder, pull them out and then put them on and then wind them back in, and that just lives there for the minute because it's on a magnet. So that's from this side of the van. Nothing really much to see, but yeah, there's the lever for the wife's swivel seat, so that swivels all the way round, so when we parked up, that's out of the way for her. What I do fit in here, because I've got no aircon, is I put some fans on the window here. So what I'm looking to do at some point is buy a couple of Scirocco fans. I'm going to fit one up there, so when we're driving along it'll blow down onto both of us, and then I'm looking to fit one at the back of the van, which I will show you when we get inside the van. So yeah, that's the inside of the van. That's that side of the van, sorry. Right, so let's look. Now before I open the sliding door, one thing I have bought is I bought this. It cost 15 quid. Got it off of Amazon. Super glued that in there. And what that does is latches the door. So when I open the door up, it goes back. We can have it on that latch so that we can stick it there. If it's pouring down with rain, we can have the door, we can stop it there, save it going all the way back. And then what that does is saves us getting soaking wet. Just put them up there, soaking wet. And also if we're slightly uneven on the ground where we're parked and the door keeps on sliding shut, we can have it latched there as well. Plus it gives us a little bit of privacy, where if we just want the door open a little bit for in and out, especially if it's windy or it's not overly that warm, we haven't got to have the door wide open. We can just have the door to that point there. Now I was going to get one and fit it on the back here, so as we push the door all the way open, we can latch it all the way back, but I haven't done yet because I'm not too sure if we actually need it. So that is the sliding door. Right, we'll go inside in a minute. Let's go and have a look through the back door and see what we've got in the back. Now I'm going to say now this is a little bit of a mess in here, so you know, don't judge me. But some few things I've done in here. So I'll quickly show you where we're in here, and that's the way that these wheel carrier fits on. So it actually fits to your bracket that fits to your door for wheel hinges. That one and then that one. Okay, now with a different system or different wheel carrier, you have to cut this piece. You have to cut that piece out, which I didn't really want to do that. One, because I don't trust myself with a grinder getting in there. I'd probably go straight through the whole hinge and take the lot off. But I didn't really want to be cutting the van especially if at some point someone else wanted it or was going to sell it and we needed to take that off. It might have buggered the hinges up. So I wanted that. I bought that one and it's brilliant, really good. So again, it's all been carpeted at the back and made to look really nice on both sides. So there's a trim missing from off there, but I'm not too fussed about that because you don't really see in the back of that much. Now I've got two little nets down there which has got different bits and pieces in there. There's little bags in there which I thought I'd keep just in case we needed them. There's pegs in there, and then what I've done is I've fitted up here these O-rings, so then we've got a washing line. Alright, so the doors, I can make sure the doors are open and stay open, and then we can have a washing line at the back of the van here and hang our clothes up that are wet. And what I can do is it can come from there, I can hook it through there into there, so then you've got clothes hooked up at the top. You can peg your clothes at the top there, or you can peg your clothes down at the bottom. So that's for that. And then obviously we got that for little bits and pieces to hang up. Okay. What I have got as well, so I've got these rock straps, I think they're called rock straps, and these are really good. So what I can do is carefully open the door so it goes all the way round, so that the spare wheel carefully comes round and hits there, and then I can put this strap through the wheel carrier down here, and I can loop it through the wheel so that actually hold these doors wide open so that they don't get caught in the wind. And I can do that on this side as well. I can put it through the ladder and then through the wheel there so that they can hold it all the way open. And again, this will come round to the point where it will close up, be carefully opened up onto that bracket there. As long as you're careful so you don't swing it open and damage stuff. So that's those doors. That's a collapsible bowl or bucket. Not sure what you want to call it. But we've got that one for being able to empty our wastewater if we're somewhere else and we need to carry it to dump it. If we can't, if they've not actually got a drive over for us to drop it out, we can empty it there and I can carry it. So we've got these fly screens, and you can do that, undo this zip and roll that all the way up so you've got the whole lot that can be opened up. Or you can do what I had there. You can just hold it up, so you just got this part that I've got to work in to get my bits and pieces out, because that's all the garage I've got there. So that can be latched up to there so it's out of the way, or you can roll it all the way up so it goes up to the top there, or you can just actually open the centre piece, so your bottom piece here can still be covered up. You can just open that piece up there. The top piece there, that's so you don't get any flies or gnats going in that bit. When the doors are open, you can put that up there over that so it covers that hole up, and then obviously before you shut the doors you open that back up so you don't get your fly screen caught in it. So what have we got here? We've got, get under here with you. So that's our tabletop, which is clipped and secured in there. And I'll put that table on in a minute so that you can see it from inside the van. We've got robes for if we go into the shower. We've got our dry robes there, so if we go down to the beach and swim and we come back. We've got our outer coats. We've got our walking sticks, and they all hang up there. If we go away and we've got clothes that we need to hang up, like wife might have a dress or a blouse, I might have some shirts, then again we'll hang these in here, because when this comes down it keeps them nice and tight and closed in and stops them from getting creased up. Right, looking underneath then, so as I said from earlier on the outside, that is our Malaga heater system there, and as you can see, that there, those switches there, that's our gas. So we've got the oven gas, and then we've got the water heater gas there. I only put those on when we actually use the gas. We never travel with the gas on, and they are literally put on. We use the gas, we do whatever we've got to do, and I'm straight in here, and then I turn them off. We have got 2 gas alarms inside the van, and then there is a drop out there for the gas as well, as you can see. So this here is, I fitted down there, and that is to go with this, which is I believe what they call a ball flinch shower, so we can shower at the back of the van. As you can see, that I fitted the pipes through there, and they've got shut off valves, so that I can ensure that we don't, if we get a leak at the back here, I can shut those off. And then we've got more shut off valves when we go through with the water, and I'll show you those in a minute. I'll point out where they are. So at the moment I've got loads of space at the back there, but once we put some deck chairs in there, and then we've got our electrical cable to go in here and our water cable to go in here, water hose, the space soon goes. So I've got like there, these are my ramps. That's one of the other flags that I've got from a flagpole, which is up in my garden at the moment, because obviously we've got the World Cup, so my England flag is in the back garden flying. Got a chemical toilet inside, so I keep my chemicals in here as well. I've got a box there that's got bits and pieces in there for hose connections, some more bits and pieces of tools, jump leads just in case I need them, you know, odds and sods really. I'll move that out of the way. Then there you can see our consumer unit, so that's the fuses for the main system, and then we've got our switch here, so it's on hookup, solar. I'll have to switch it all the way around, and then that would be for our inverter. And the inverter, you might just be able to see the inverters there, so it's a 2000 watt Victron Phoenix inverter that was fitted for us by Van Junkies in Gosport in Hampshire. If you ever need an electrical work done on your van, they're the people to go and see. And then I've got some oil in there. Now this piece here, I've taken that off and completely cleaned that all back underneath there, and then gone along it with black Hammerite paint and covered it all up and made it all nice and clean. Unlike this thing, I've not done anything with that because I want to replace it. So yeah, again, don't judge me, that's still there. But we've got rubber matting throughout the floor, and it's nice and neat in the back. It's just finished off with wood. You can see some cabling going across the back there. But yeah, it's all nice and neatly done and filled in. Right,